There is an interesting correlation in October 2025 as far as the Bazi Chinese astrology forecast and how it aligns with our home feng shui for the qi, the energy that is flowing in this month, that I think is an important thing for us to look at. So that's what this video today is going to be about. So welcome. My name is Lydia Griffith. This is the Feng Shui and Bazi Chinese astrology channel. On this channel, I often read the charts of famous people because I think it helps us to better understand our own lives and our own astrology. So welcome. I hope that if this sparks interest for you, you will consider subscribing, liking, and hitting the bell so you don't miss a single video. I will be putting out also the Bazi astrology forecast for October and the forecast for the United States, as I have been doing throughout this year because we are in such a transformative time as a nation. So the month of October, according to our lunar calendar, begins on the 8th. And we come in, and again, not to repeat the other video, but it's a double dog day. That really is the stamp. It is literally like two foo dogs flanking the front steps of your home, flanking the front steps of every home and building around the world. Everything, including the earth herself. And it is a very protective energy because it is an energy that is coming in very strong with two forces, okay? And I'm actually glad to be doing both of these videos because it's kind of like a painting or a piece of music. I feel like even after I end a video, I'm like, oh, I could have said so much more. But there is, in the dualism of life, there are two sides to every equation, just like I've spoken about with Bazi astrology, that we live in both our light side of our astrology as well as our dark. We all have our shadow side, those aspects of ourselves that are not necessarily pleasant. Sometimes we recognize it and we work really hard to work towards the side of ourselves that is more moral, more ethical, right? We want to be our best version of ourselves, I would think. I mean, nobody gets up in the morning and says, I'm going to go out and be the worst person I can be. And some of us witness on the public arena people that for whatever reason were born into their shadow and live in their shadow. And it is a temptation for others to slide into their shadow and follow them, right? And so the call in October is to bring balance. It's the month of the dog. It's the month of the Libra. It is the tarot card of adjustment and balance, the number 8, infinity. So as I take you around the Bagua, recognizing each of our directions, what is happening with the energy there, one of the core pieces that stood out to me is the yellow flag, a caution to our mental health, our level of stress, because these are fighting times and it's gonna get real in October. This is the gavel dropping. This is the people running with torches through the streets. This is the rise, the response to all the truths and the reality that we are starting or have been seeing playing out. And maybe last month, the month of the rooster, we called foul. And one of those interesting pieces is the whole thing with Jimmy Kimmel, right? It's a big deal, all of that. Many layers, okay? And yet he's been put on the air again. And I would, honestly, I'm tempted to do his chart for you guys, but there's no hour. Without the hour, same as Pam Bondi, I've wanted to do her chart too. Without an hour, I can't see the career. And then you're talking about somebody whose career is impacting people and impacting themselves, and you want the full picture. I'm going to give you a story that I can only give you 75% of. And I always struggle with that. I mean, I can tell you what they're personally dealing with. But anyway, I'm off on a tangent. Let's get into it. All right. So I always start with the center. The center is the most important part of your home. Check out where that is. I hope it is in a bathroom. I hope it isn't where, the heater and the water heater and furnace are. And if you do, feel free to put that in the comments and I'll tell you the cure that you can put in place to correct that. The center, I think of it almost like a large stone or a mountain or a rock, because it is the earth energy and it emanates throughout the rest of the house. So you want whatever is in the center to represent you in your life. What is that creed that you live by? If you're in a family dynamic, put your favorite current, not old. I'm really not a fan of people that paper their house with old photographs when their kids are in their 30s and they've got childhood photos plastered everywhere like a time capsule. A current favorite family photo, right? Or a favorite prayer or poem, things like that. So this year is an interesting one because we've got the 2-star sitting here, which is in transition. It irritates me a little bit that some people that have a platform, website, YouTube, and all the things, are still seeing the 2-star as the sickness star, which is what it was in period 8. But since 2024, we've been in period 9, the period of fire. So we have the 9-star, the current period star, sitting in the center. And that is powerful money and success. But the 2-star is emboldened by that fire and emboldened, steady, held in the center. But the 2-star was our sickness star, and it is in transition towards being a less malevolent star. So I don't automatically attach. It's kind of like, if you've gone through some big transformation, you don't want to be held to the personality you used to be. You want to be acknowledged for the fact that, hey, I'm doing the work. I'm trying to improve myself over here. So anyway, and so those two together are kind of in conflict. So each star that comes in each month can really either exacerbate the situation and make it really bad or really good, one or the other. And so when you go to the blog on the Karma Chameleon website, I put the link below for you. The month of October, we have the 3 wood star, which is really, it's weakened because it's wood, and wood controls earth. And so because it's in a controlling position, it's weakened, right? When you try to control something, you're putting energy into it and you're weakened by that effort, right? And there's nothing nourishing it. In fact, what the wood directly feeds is fire, which is the 9-star. So you've got all of this energy draining the 3-star, which is already weak. And so what we have for October emanating from every home is this alchemy of energies that speaks of heavy, volatile relationships, loss of harmony, Astrologically, October is all about harmony, and this sets a really bad precedence for the energies we're dancing with. And the 9-star aggravates all of this. It aggravates our nervous system in this situation and fuels mental health and heart conditions. Now, that can be your literal heart. It can be your energetic, emotional heart, like heartbreak, grief, loss. And so the cure to put in place in the center of your home, for sure, is to drain this energy with metal and also the colors of metal, black, white, gray. You especially don't want to have any fire here because it's just aggravating. So one of the things I would do is put a Wulu health gourd to protect your health. And that, again, includes your mental health. And again, inspiring messaging placed in the center is a beautiful thing. A beautiful thing. And sometimes it's nice. You know, by this point of the year, we're in our 9th month, according to the Bazi Chinese calendar, the lunar calendar. It's nice to freshen things up. Check and see what's in the center of your home. Go and find your favorite inspiring poem that makes your heart sing, that speaks of harmony and unity. Put that in a black frame and hang that on the wall in the center of your house. So then we're going to come around to the southeast. Southeast 3, very close to the south, is where our year of the snake abides. So we never face the southeast. We never face the annual animal. We certainly don't want to disturb it with loud noise and construction. Anything like banging drums, banging pots and pans, banging the car door shut, you know, the garage door coming down, things like that. So the monthly stars, so we've got the 1 water star that came in. The 8 star is here for period 9, which is kind of unfortunate because the 8 star is earth and the southeast is wood. So again, we have this opposition, this weakening influence. But the 8 star is still potent with money, luck, and good fortune, especially with that 1 water star there to combine with it. But our visiting star in October is the 2 earth. And so now things go sour. And it's so important to follow the energies of the flying stars, which is an advanced system of Feng Shui, so that we are dancing with this chi and not a victim of it. So this area really harms middle-aged men in particular and pits you against an older woman. So anyone that's living in a house that's multi-generational, for instance, where there is maybe a mother-in-law or a mother living with their son, their adult son, could really come against some real friction and fighting. And the 1 and the 8 star, again, are really good for success with business. But that 2 star could be very self-sabotaging or bringing in some kind of jeopardy. So there's that feels like instability. So for our cure, and you're going to hear this a lot, just go to the crystal store in your area and get a bag of rose quartz, and there's like at least 3 places to put rose quartz, which is the rose quartz is the stone that vibrates with your heart, and that's what we're going to really be focused on this month. It's so interesting. Our focus is on mental health, our relationships, and restoring harmony. And this is so in keeping with the Bazi astrology for this month, that is so much about justice, harmonizing, bringing into balance that which has fallen out of balance. So then we're going to come Oh, and just to mention, yeah, for October in the Southeast, you want the rose quartz with a happy Hody. The happy Hody statue is a great, and they can be the little ones, they can be great big. The size doesn't matter. I would also put that with a lovely live plant. So you create like a little scene in that part of your home. So you have the happy Hody, a lovely plant. If you're not good with keeping plants alive, a nice silk plant will do. And a nice chunk of rose quartz. And again, it can be little bitty. It can be great big. But I wouldn't go too big with the rose quartz. You don't want to overpower an area, right? And so the colors for October, we want to weaken the 2 Earth Star with cooler tones to harmonize with gray, white, and metal, which I know is really weird to talk about metal in a wood direction, but that's just where we're at this year. Now, we come around with that, okay, with the notion of quarreling and fighting and success sliding potentially sideways in the Southeast. We come to the South. We've got the 6 metal that has come in for this year, which the 6 star is pretty groovy for money luck. And the 4 wood star that's here for period 9 is fabulous because the 4 wood nourishes the South, which is fire. And the 6 metal, I've talked about this a lot lately. It seems like that metal with the fire is even better. You're polishing the money. It's an alchemical interaction. So the South is really great for money. But again, whatever that monthly star coming in can either be at a detriment to that forecast or elevate it. Now, October's a shit show. Sorry to say. We've got battles happening here in the South. The 7 metal star, which is a fighting, aggressive energy. And again, I'm keeping in the back of my head this fight for justice, this sense of rising up to right the wrongs, whether it's in your own personal life or if it is in the more public arena, or the collective world that we're seeing around us. So the South is really about this, the 6 star, the 7 star, both metal are like 2 swords clashing up against each other. And the 7 star really brings a risk to things becoming explosive and volatile and injurious. There's a major caution to avoid doing any business in the southern part of, like, for instance, an office building, like having a conference room there. Or if your office at home sits in the South, turn yourself to face a different direction. I would close curtains, keep the doors closed, and keep the room dormant. Because that's like the easiest thing to do with negative feng shui is you pull the blinds down, you close off the doors to that room in the house, and you just simply don't use it. And then it's not an issue. In October, you'll want a brass dragon-headed turtle for protection. The colors of blue, black, and a smoky quartz. Smoky quartz, I love, 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 love. It's super great for purification and for dispelling negative chi. So now we're going to come around to the Southwest, which is, yay, we finally got a great direction. I know, it's hard to find. It's a rough, if you ask me, this is a rough year for our flying stars and the feng shui of our homes. So the 6 metal is here for period 9. And the 8 star this year, this is such a fabulous area for 2025, the Southwest, which speaks to the mother, the woman of the house, and to marriage, partnerships, romances, and partnerships of all kinds. And so this month, the 9 star comes in. It's like all the money stars come together for a great big piñata of money falling out into that part of your home. This is an area to activate. Keep it lit. You can keep the light on in this room all through the month. You also want to have human action, like people moving around in this room, going in and out. It's also really good for anybody working in real estate or in that realm of real estate, land development, things like that. There is success, fame, recognition, promotion, everything. So if you're looking for work, pick up your laptop and go find the southwest corner of your home and park yourself there and set a clear intention that I am sitting here to cultivate and manifest the job of my dreams, right? Work with the energy, friends. All right. Yeah. So our cure for October is bring back the earth colors: brown, tan, cream, yellow, chamois. Also fiery colors, red and burgundy. Yeah, I always think of fire colors like a fruit bowl, like cantaloupe, watermelon, things like that. So yeah, in October, you can also do, if you have a deck off the southwest corner, have a fire pit, burn incense, burn candles, beautiful, beautiful energy in the southwest. So we come around to the west, everything has slid completely sideways in the west. The west is, we have the 2 earth for period 9, which is okay. In some ways it's good because the west is metal. And again, with the 2 star going through transition, this kind of weakens the 2 star and allows it to rest a little bit. The 4 wood star coming in for this month is greatly weakened. And so overall, this has been kind of a okay to problematic area for 2025. And this month we have the 5 star, which is the star that says, if anything and everything can go wrong, it's going to. And when I see 5 and 2 come together, I think of devastating illness, cancer diagnosis, things like a car accident that leads to death. I mean, dramatic. A mistake, a financial mistake that leads to bankruptcy. I mean, it's pretty intense. The West, I would not use that for a bedroom. I would not use that for an office. And I certainly would not want to use that for a front door. I have jokingly said that I would go so far as to climb through a window to avoid bad feng shui and activating it. So the 5 star threatens our children because the West is the location of our children. It also can snuff out our creative impulse. It churns up disease, misfortune, accidents, and loss. So a chiming clock, brilliant. Or outside, a 6-rod metal wind chime. A Wooloo health gourd to protect your health. These are really helpful. It can also be a round metal bowl, like a dog bowl. So we want all metal to weaken that nasty 5 star in combination with the 2. So black, white, gray, and a little splash of blue wouldn't be bad. So we come around to the northwest, which some people might say is okay. I don't think so. And it's okay. Astrologers and feng shui consultants, we don't have to always, agree on every aspect, the way that we interpret the energies. And that's okay. And actually, it's a great thing to dabble with different voices and see which one sings to you and speaks best to you. All right, so the 4 wood is coming in here, and the 1 water for period 9 is perfect. It's a metal direction. Water is nourished by the West, and the 1 star is our future wealth star. The 3 wood coming in for this year is, again, this battle of metal and wood, which I really don't like seeing. The 3 wood is such a bitchy kind of energy. And then you have the 4 wood coming in. So kind of like in the South where you've got the 2 battling wood or metal elements of the 7 and 6. This is the 4 and 3, which for me just screams irritated, aggravated, grumpy, disharmony, and people not getting along. And also gossip, kind of like mean girl vibes. I don't know what the male version of mean girl vibes is, but bully vibes. The 4 and the 1 together could be good for intelligence, like studies and schooling. But given the components at play, I would not really hang out in the Northwest. It's also the direction of the Shui Po for this year. It's the opposite to the snake. It's the placement of the pig. So it's kind of like you're sitting in the enemy's corner for the year anyway. So yeah, sorry about that. We're still rooting for the Southwest, and there's more goodness coming. We're scooping around here. So what I said for cures is I would not embolden the wood star in any way, shape, or form in a metal direction, but rather mitigate the conflict with the color blue. Like a blue elephant lying on its side will open up communication and possibly bring in some harmony. Colors, blue, black, and gray with metal. So now we're at the north. We've got just a couple, like 3 more directions, okay? Because I know this video goes long because it's a lot of information, but it's important. So we've got the 5 earth sitting in the north for the next 20 or 19 years, right? Not a happy thing. But the 5 earth is so weakened by the north water that's kind of helpful. The 7 metal star is visiting this year, and the 5 and 7 together are kind of like, again, that feeling like accidents that turn into something really dramatic, or a fight that lands you in the hospital. And the 8 star coming in this month could be a good thing, because again, the 8 star is wealth. It's not as bad as it has been this year. And it could bring relationship luck, but it's not stable and it's not reliable. So there's potential for wealth, but that could be wins with losses, kind of like when you think of the stock market going up and down. It's just a lot of volatility, and it's not reliable. Yeah. In other words, if you start seeing good things happening, don't rely or cling to it, because you don't want to delude yourself into thinking that it's stable. That's all. Double check all details. Don't blindly trust anyone, written, verbal, anything. Don't double check everything. If someone says something to you, repeat it back and make sure you got it right. For October, I would not weaken the 1 good star here by adding the color blue. Absolutely not. The 8 star is an earth star. It's already weakened in this watery direction of the north. To add earth will feed the nasty 5 star. So you're kind of it's a tough spot. And so I would stick with, instead of using color, I would lean more towards the cure. And so I'm thinking of a pair of lovebirds with 2 rose quartz. And if they can be heart-shaped, even better. Yeah. So I would just stick with metal colors, black, white, and gray. We're going to come around now to the northeast, which has been really problematic. We have the 3 star here, which is wood, sitting in the northeast, which is earth. And that's not compatible. And then the 5 star came in here this year, and that's really unfortunate. And that's, again, it's arguments that lead to divorce. or a disagreement that leads to you getting fired. The 6th star, which is wealth coming in, is a caution flag to actually not gaining money, but losing money. Your investments go down. Small injuries also could be a part of this, like being poisoned or getting little cuts, like paper cuts, or having a short-term illness that really kind of takes you out for a little while. And really, you know, the cures that I didn't really see anything additional to add other than the ones we already have in place for this year. 6-rod metal wind chime outside, a round metal bowl, or a brass dragon-headed turtle, all of these things to protect. Definitely don't want a front door in the Northeast, an office, a bedroom. And again, if you want to get all the full detail of this information, it's on the Karma Chameleon website, which is about to change. We know this. I've been announcing this. Everything's about to get a new facelift and a new name in the next month. Very excited. It's like the ultimate birthday gift to myself, being an October birthday girl. So the last spot is the East. The 7th star is here for the period 9, which is really unfortunate. The 7 is being metal and the wood of the East being combative, and the 7th star is already like a battle soldier. We have the 9 fire coming in this month for the year, which is great because the fire of the 9 star is emboldened in the East. But that combination of 9 and 7 can be a little wonky. But this month we have the 1 water star coming in. This is really great. The 1 water star, along with the wood of the direction, greatly weaken the 7 stars, so it's pretty much neutralized in this situation. So there's a harmonizing happening here. The only caution is to be mindful of your passions, to be also your temper, your mental health. But there is overall promise for relationships. Just keep it in check, right? Don't go all out, like love bombing, for instance. Happy gatherings and good fortune could happen here. Enjoy gatherings with family in this room of your home or property. And for October, guess what the cure is? You got it. Some more rose quartz. And again, in the shape of a heart is fabulous. Always too, if you're dealing with hearts. And for money luck, you can bring in something whimsical like a piggy bank or a pile of Chinese coins in a jade bowl. All the colors of green. All colors of green. And the best directions for October, got 2. I know, it's just what we're dealing with this year. The East and the Southwest. A little bit of the North, but with caution, right? And then the more problematic directions are the center, Northeast, Northwest, West, and Southeast. The dog of October on the world map falls across the central part of the United States and up into Canada. There's a lot of focus with justice, government, the judicial system, police, ICE, all of it, laws, the Constitution, every last bit of this, our democracy, as it still is standing. This is big time for the United States this month, if you ask me. And it's going to have ripple effects across our world in different ways. And we're going to, of course, see that rise for justice throughout. So anyway, thank you so much for staying with me. I hope that this has been helpful for you. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to put it in the comments below, or you can always directly email me. Until next time, friends, please be well.